All right. Look at that. Wow, look at this angle. I didn't mean to do it like this. I just put it a little bit to the side, and I kind of like this angle. I'm not going to touch anything here. Thank you, God. Thank you, universe, for leading me in this direction. I kind of like that the camera, first of all, is positioned like it's like at the right spot. Like in the video by moving the I think I gotta charge the camera. I gotta charge the computer. It got a little dim. The lighting. Anyway, I like where this is positioned. I don't know if you guys can see the board any better. It kind of looks like it's probably the same distance, but the angle clearly is different. It kind of like makes me stand out a little bit. Not that that's the purpose of this, but I'm not mad about it. But anyway, enough of that. Let's get into the meat and potatoes here, like I've said in the past. The point of this, meat and potatoes. In fact, I gotta make some meat and potatoes. I'm freaking hungry. I'm getting hungry after doing all these videos, all this talk. Guys, I left you on a cliffhanger for a second ago. At least in my point is the cliffhanger was that I was supposed to tell you who I think Cody Bellinger is going to sign with. And then I was like, damn, it's 27 minutes I'm talking? That's a long ass time. This video that I have open, a video that I was watching earlier, is 27 minutes long. And I didn't watch it through. I stopped it, put it in the background, I stopped it, and I went back, I listened to it. Like, I still have about 4 minutes to go. So I get it. You know, you're not gonna, some people can capture and captivate the audience, or at least people who are, or at least having a dedicated audience in the sense where they are there for you, and they are there to watch and engage and listen to, pay attention, and stay with you throughout the video. That's common. That's what subscribing and following is all about, right? That's a beautiful thing if it happens, and it does happen. I've sat and watched videos in its entirety. I'm sure a lot of people do. Maybe it happens more often than we think. I understand at the same time, this is the era and this is the time of short attention spans, because we are always being divided in the sense of like where we should put our eyes and put our mind to. It's a lot of options. I always said, how do you make a choice in a world full of options? It's difficult. All right, let me put this charger up. Let me put this in before it goes out. All right. So, again, I forget my point here. I just want to get into this. I want to get into the final team here. I want to get into the final team. I was going somewhere, but I want to get into the final team. I want to talk about. See, I'm trying to, as I'm saying it, I'm literally trying to remember what the heck I just said, because I was onto something, and that's crazy sometimes. How it's like how quick I can literally lose my thought. It happens from time to time. Oh, ironically, I think I remember, and I think it has to do with us losing our thought because there's so many things. Actually, now I'm tying it together. But my original point before I just said it happens, I lose my thought from time to time, is that there's so many. How do you make a choice in a world full of options? There's so many ways. There's so many things that we're always like focusing on through social media and the scrolling and the. I always said, how many times you see computer, phone, and TV all happening at once? You're on your phone. It's right next to you. It's open. You scroll from time to time. You grab it here and there. You have your computers or your laptops right in front of you, open, right in front of you, on your lap, on a table, and then you have the TV playing in the background. When do you ever have just a time or a moment to yourself? I call it. I'm telling you, it's the TV, phone, and it's the triple threat. The TV, phone, and in the internet, all right in front of you, in the computer, all right in front of you, man. You gotta have a moment to yourself. Otherwise, you start to lose this thing. And that's the point where you start forgetting shit. Because your brain no longer is the memory card, it's the phone, because of convenience. Guys, I'm getting deep here. I'm just saying, not that anything's bad and anything's good. But I'm just saying, give yourself a break every now and then. Maybe I'm talking to myself too. All right. Arizona Diamondbacks. Let's get to the Arizona Diamondbacks. That's what I really want to. That's it. Like so much for a cliffhanger, right? Did I say them yet? The Arizona Diamondbacks. They're 80 and 82. They were 11th in payroll last year. They had a $195 million payroll. And by looking at the guys who are under big contracts, I'm thinking to myself, like, they quietly put together $195 million payroll because it feels like not a lot of high price deals there. I mean, listen to this. Ketel Marte is making $17.5 million a year. Corbin Carroll's making $13.9 million a year. Total bargain at this current moment. And that's the point of those, like I was saying way back, just a few videos ago about those signing. I think I mentioned Carroll. Signing those deals, those long-term, high-priced deals at such a young age, they're allowing you to bypass arbitration and go back to the table negotiating and signing one-year deals, and they say, we're going to give you a lot of money, like dangle a lot of money in front of you, but then you take those deals, you're giving up money, market value-wise, what you should be earning at your current production by signing those long-term deals, which now Carroll making, on average, $13.9 million a year. That's crazy because you are outperforming what you were getting paid. Now, that's the average, but it could be like a huge jump. I think he actually has interesting figures, which is, I think I guess is the appeal of that contract. I think it's like a little bit in the beginning and then big jumps, but I don't quite remember. But at the end of the day, you're still averaging 13.5. You're still forfeiting some money. Whatever. All right. We're going to move past that. But Eduardo Rodriguez is making $20 million a year. Lourdes Gurriel is $14 million a year. He signed a 3-year, $42 million contract. That's the type of deal that Arizona Diamondbacks would do. They're not signing a lot of big free agents unless like it's pitching or they've identified that Marte is that dude, so they locked him in long term. But most of it, I mean, they got a bargain of it. Can I just say that this player, this deal, this season he had is the most underrated season in MLB this year. Geraldo Perdomo, he signed a 4-year, $45 million contract. I was looking at that when he signed it. I was like, that's interesting. I don't know what to make of that. That's like another deal where it's like they're taking advantage of these Spanish players in a way where he should be making more money. I feel like the Spanish guys, they don't get as much money at times. Hear me out. Just saying. I can get deeper into that, but I don't want to really do it. But 4 years, all right, 11.25. But I also thought, well, Perdomo is also a guy that really hasn't quite burst onto the scene. He's proven that he's good, but he hasn't been around long enough. So it's like when I was like, all right, okay, I can see that still being good player value and team value. But then he did this, by the way. All right, he's 26 years old, shortstop. He batted .290, 20 homers, and 100 RBIs. If that's not the most underrated stat line from a player in the 2025 season, I don't know what is. .290 batting average, 20 homers, 100 RBIs. 20 homers, 100 RBIs, old school right there. All right? So, he's making $11.25 million a year. Josh Naylor was playing at 1 year, 10.9. Eugenio Suarez is playing the final year of his contract, making $9.875. He signed an 8-year, $79 million contract. Again, guy's slugging almost 40 home runs a year, it feels like, for the last, or averaging that. And he's only making $9.875. I mean, I get it. There are things about his game. He strikes out a ton. He has low batting averages. He's capable. He's done that. I mean, he has probably the strongest arm that I've seen, or probably the top 5 strongest arm in the infield in baseball. And throws right over the top. It's a beautiful throw. Anyway, those guys are playing for combined $20 million, basically. Now, they're both traded in different deals, believe it or not, to the same team, the Mariners. When the Mariners were 1 win away from the World Series. They're both free agents now. Zach Gallen was playing at $13.5 million. He's looking to cash in. He'll probably get a 3-year deal somewhere, I feel like. Gallen. But that's the thing. So with the Diamondbacks, it's like all spread out. Their $195 million payroll is all spread out. So they manage their money, I guess, pretty well. But pretty well. It's odd because they're still don't have a lot of high price players, I guess, but they're still sitting just above outside the top 10, which is crazy. Who's coming off the books? So if they were to sign Bellinger, it would put them, I mean, obviously above the $200 million mark, because the free agents that are coming out are totaling, I mean, near $15 million amongst, unless you want to factor in Naylor, who's making 10.9, but we know they traded him. Long story short, they're looking, economically speaking, if Naylor stayed to the end, and they're looking at saving, they're going to $25 million coming off the books, theoretically, or with Suarez as well, they traded him, but they're looking at, that's about $35 million coming off the books. If those guys all stayed, right? So what I'm trying to say is, maybe they can factor in. Plus, you're going to have Perdomo come. You're going to have Rodriguez come off the books in 2 seasons. The one next year is his second to last year. I mean, so you'll have $20 million coming off the books there. So there's some flexibility within their lineup. I mean, Alec Thomas is going to arbitration, but he's not going to be earning a ton of money right now. Jake McCarthy, he's playing in 59 games. They're waiting for him to, be more consistent and show up and arrive more towards his potential. He's going to arbitrate. So it's not like anything, people are going to be really demanding a lot of money here in their everyday lineup. So that's not the main point I'm making for Bellinger's purpose for signing there. I just feel like a team where my reasoning is that for a team, that's the financials, but for a team like Arizona, who's trying to improve upon their 80-82 record, they gotta be in the position where they want to now, start to be more aggressive. Do they want to take a step back? I think there's an opportunity to return and to maybe leapfrog the Dodgers if they are going to continue with the team that they have, the Dodgers. If they do, the Dodgers are smart and savvy. They're going to try to improve, no matter what. And they can. They're going to think, hey, shit, three-peat now. And you know what? Maybe we're going to go even harder. But maybe they do go with what they got. And they're going to say, our pitching is going to lead us. We're going to stick with these bats. And the bats weren't quite lighting it up. So maybe there's a chance to leapfrog the Dodgers in some way. The Giants, like I said in the first 2 videos ago and earlier today, they're in a spot, they're looking to compete. Don't sleep on them and their ideology. If I can't edit that out, but who cares? I'm just showing you. I can't even fucking say that word. Ideology. Well, they want to stay competitive is what I'm trying to say. So for them to, so the theory, see, that throws me off now. I couldn't even say that word. Is that Arizona is obviously going to have to be competing with San Francisco, who has every intention to compete, right? With all these contracts they signed, San Francisco. So Arizona, if they're looking to stay competitive or at least seize an opportunity, they might have to add to their lineup and to their team a difference maker. And a person who, there is a spot open where Josh Miller played 76 games, Peyton Smith played 36, Tyler Locklear, supposed to be a power hitting prospect, he played 30, and Tim Tawa, I love the name. Becoming one of my favorite names in baseball, I guess now, Tim Tawa. 20 games he played there. He's a versatile, plays outfield, plays other parts of the infield, so he's utility. So there is a big spot there, I think. And I think a hitter like Bellinger, who playing the environment of Arizona, which is a good hitter's ballpark, where you see Corbin Carroll crack the ball there, I think a guy like Bellinger could be stronger, if not just the same strength as Corbin Carroll. Don't sleep on Carroll's strength, but we're not comparing strength. What I'm saying is, a guy, I think Bellinger, where his swing or his production and the way he's been performing as a player recently, in the hitting confines of Arizona, and in the opening at first base, and the fact that outfield maybe is an opportunity as well, because Carroll's got right field. Alec Thomas is a great center fielder. Who's got center field? Gurriel's got left field. He can also play DH as well, so there's interchangeable there. You can improve your defense by putting Bellinger there, and you can spot Gurriel here and there, or you can just there's flexibility within this. You can have Bellinger there at first and Gurriel playing left. There's flexibility here with this team. Jake McCarthy there as well, and Jorge Barrosa, who I don't know much about, played 30 games. But point is if you want to compete with the likes of the Giants and the Dodgers and the Padres, who I didn't even mention, who have big contracts and who really would be a disservice to their franchise, to the fan base and everybody, all this, if they were like packing it in now and saying we give up, we signed all these guys, we don't want to win anymore. No way. Although they're at a weird spot, and that they can blow that up just like the Phillies can blow up their situation, or break apart their situation is a more easier phrase to say, I guess, safer thing to say. But Arizona, to me, I believe Cody Bellinger would make a great impression would make a big impact for, considering that the division that they play in, and this team is at 80-82. You add a little bit more offense to this team. Who's to say that this team can't, with more of a stable offense? Because honestly, although I will say, there's not even so much that their offense is an issue. It's like they couldn't do both offense and defense at the same time. Because when Corbin Burns went down and Rodriguez has missed time here and there, and Gallen wasn't the greatest last season. They're pitching, and they traded Merrill Kelly, who's been a steady, very steady, underrated pitcher for them, innings eater, and just a good pitcher overall. Gets deep into games, he's old school. They didn't really get their pitching. Their MO wasn't there, but they still score runs. Believe it or not, if you check them out, they still are up there as far as runs scored, if I'm not mistaken. And so for them, though, they just need to get better in certain areas. But adding impactful players is something that Arizona should do. And that's why I really believe that they are a team that should be the most aggressive towards adding Bellinger, because they can put him at first base, he can play outfield, he can play DH, another versatile spot for him to be, and a great hitting location for him to be, a great lineup for him to be in, to make that team even deeper. You lost Suarez and Naylor, and you can't replace them both, but you can certainly start by adding a guy like Bellinger, who can, you're not going to get, Suarez hit 36 home runs and drove in 87 RBIs in the time that he was with Arizona, and then he still had like a month and a half with the Mariners. I think he hit 49 homers. So what I'm saying is Suarez and Naylor, who's a very good, he batted .292, 11 homers, 59 RBIs in 93 games. Again, very solid production. You're not going to replace both with just one guy, but Bellinger is a guy that if you can lock in and get on your team, and he can provide both defensively and also offensively, and make up for some ground of players that you got rid of from the year prior. I think it's a good start, especially with the division that they play in. So Bellinger in Arizona, I believe they should be super aggressive with it, because if they want to win, their window should be within the next 2 to 3 years. The best of Burns, even though he's going to be coming back from Tommy John. Marte is in his low 30s, right? He's still solid, but Gurriel's kind of out the door after this season. You want to do it. You want to do it with this cast, and you can strike quick, and you can do something quick if you add the right guys. Excuse me. So that was my pick. Maybe he didn't have the fizzle and the flair as maybe I expected in the delivery and what I was saying, but nonetheless, it's exactly what I was thinking, how it would go. Because to me, I really believe it. I really believe that Arizona. That's my overall picture on this message. But I really believe that Arizona could be a team that should be in the running for. If anything, they would be considered a dark horse for some people, or a sleeper. I don't think a lot of people may be mentioning Arizona. I haven't really looked up what other people are saying, but I believe Arizona should be a team that could be aggressive on Bellinger sweepstakes, or should be aggressive on the Bellinger sweepstakes. And the 2 other teams just to throw in there. I said I would add had 2 other teams. Not to go on and on, but I can keep it as simple as this. Philadelphia Phillies I had up there. But the thing is with the Phillies, before they attend to adding, like I was just saying a second ago about blowing it up, or that's what they call it, blowing it up, or retooling or rebuilding, right? Scrapping it. Is that because they do have contracts tied up, and they have Kyle Schwarber's a free agent, JT Realmuto is a free agent, or I have a video and I want to do a Realmuto, or I have a team that I think will fit in perfectly with, but we'll get to that in one of the next few videos, JT Realmuto. So they're in a weird spot. Uh, Castellanos, I think, is his last year of his deal. Harper's still there for a decent amount of years, but not too long. So the Phillies are kind of a weird spot. You're going to let Schwarber walk and then just sign Bellinger as like, I don't think Bellinger is going to want to be the second choice of the Phillies or like the backup plan if they don't get Schwarber back. The Phillies do. And I don't think Bellinger is going to really take too liking to the environment of the Phillies if he doesn't go too well for him. I mean, he seems like a guy that can handle some stuff, but I also think that it would just be a difficult spot for him to sign with as far as pressure is concerned, because there's high pressure and intensity, I feel like, with the Phillies' current state of affairs right now. So it could be volatile, very combustible over there. Does Bellinger want to subject himself to a situation like that? I'm not too sure. But that's why I didn't put them here, but it was just a team that I thought, well, I can see him going there because there's an opening there and there's money to be spent there. And if he wants to be a part of a new regime, the start of the new regime and roster construction, now's the time to get him and put him there until you start turning over and changing some pieces over. But that would be a high pressure spot. So Phillies is one of them, maybe, possibly. And the other one was the Blue Jays. But the Blue Jays, their priority number one, I mean, their lineup obviously was good. But to me, and Bellinger would make any team better. But I thought, if anything, the Blue Jays' priority number one should be, no doubt, bringing back Bo Bichette. I think that the best spot for him would be the Blue Jays. I just think that the Blue Jays, maybe they'd be able to replace him, but I think it would be just too much of a loss. I don't think it's just too much of a loss. Well, he's a great player. He did amazing for them last year. I think that should be the priority, bringing back Bichette. I mean, why get rid of him? It's not like you have to get rid of him. He did well there. I think it's a mutual thing. I think it's shown that it is mutual, that they want to make it work. So if it doesn't, it'd be stupid. I think that's their priority. They signed Anthony Santander, my guy, last year. It's 5 years, $92 million, I think it was, to be like the big bopper in the lineup. He barely played due to injury last year. It wasn't the greatest season for him. So they got that contract tied up. I mean, not tied up, but locked in. And I think they're going to pretty much stay within who they have. I think the Blue Jays are going to come back relatively the same. But I think the big piece would be bringing Bichette. But I threw Bellinger out there because I really thought, especially early in the year, like before this season was up, I said Blue Jays are going to get Bellinger. I thought they were ready. The Blue Jays are just ready to sign big ticket or make big splashes in free agency. I thought they were. So they got Vladdy, which was the big deal. I mean, they were in on Ohtani, they were in on Soto, like they were itching at that. So maybe their big splashes are just keeping their guys. Because if their guys became free agents, they would be big splashes around the league and for another franchise. So the Blue Jays have the big splash players already at their disposal. I mean, if they keep them, one was Vladdy, who they locked up, which would have been a major move for with a free agent signee if he signed with somebody else. And then Bichette is also top tier. So keep Bichette. If they can add Bellinger, try to make it work, I would say. I thought that would be the spot. I just wanted to say it because I think they were close to making that big splash, but maybe with the Blue Jays it comes maybe in the form of pitching. I can see it now. I'm thinking about it. Maybe their splashes come with maybe two. Maybe they pick up two starting pitching. Maybe they pick up Edwin Diaz. I mean, although they have Jeff Hoffman signed for a couple of years. Point is, maybe the Blue Jays make their big splashes in the pitching department. Maybe Framber Valdez goes there. Maybe I'm not sure. To be honest, I gotta look at the free agent. I don't know who the free agent starting pitching are right now. I don't know the free agency list. I gotta look into it. I know some, but I don't actually know many at all right now. So I can't tell you. I know Valdez is a prized prospect, prized free agent starting pitcher. But and I think there are a couple guys maybe coming over from Japan. The point is, I think the Blue Jays are a team that are going to probably focus more on getting Bichette, but Bellinger I thought was an option as well. But to me, Arizona Diamondbacks are a team I would lock in on as to really, I think they would really do themselves a major service or a major, they would benefit themselves if they were to pick up Bellinger and add him to their lineup and spend a little money in free agency wise. So that's my pick. So I basically had 7 here, and You know what's freaking crazy? I literally just hit me. I just did, what, 9 teams? And know who really, at the end of the day, might really sign? Holy shit, I can't believe this. You know who, at the end of the day, really just might sign Bellinger when it's all said and done? The Yankees. The Yankees are probably one of the favorites to sign Bellinger now. It just hit me. And I'm not saying that, like, I'm thinking about it. I just did 7 teams. Two not on the board, Blue Jays and Phillies. And I'm thinking to myself, holy shit. 9 teams in general, and I didn't even mention the Yankees. Don't be surprised if the Yankees swoop in and they lock him in and they realize that they don't want to let this guy go and that he played well there and he's exactly what they need. First base, outfielder, right? Maybe he goes to first base. Why don't they put him at first base? What if they sign Alonso and Bellinger? I'll work on the Yankees in a second. It just hit me. I'm like, I didn't even put the Yankees on the board. It's very likely the Yankees can re-sign Bellinger. No doubt. No doubt. They can give him the money. They can give him the term, the length, the contract. They can give him all. The dollar value, they can give him the whole, I think, whatever he's looking for. But I found a team that I think that needs to make a move and sign an impact back in free agency, make a move in free agency to be able to compete with their division, especially strike now by the Diamondbacks. Strike now would be the snake. It would be the Diamondbacks. I think it would be that. So that's my team. That's the pick I think I'd be rooting for if I was in the free agent sweepstakes. Following that, I'm going to be rooting for to sign him. But obviously, there's a bunch of options for him to go. San Francisco Giants, Diamondbacks, Mets, Nationals, Angels, Red Sox, Houston Astros, Phillies, Blue Jays, Yankees. And guess what? I couldn't wait to do this. I'm going to do this. I couldn't wait. Now I'm going to do this and there's no coming back. I couldn't wait to do what I'm about to do right now. Like, I couldn't wait to do this. I couldn't wait. I just want to take this off the board. So now there's no like, oh, I'm going to redo this video. That's it now. That's it. This is going to take some real like work here. So yeah, look at that. It's going to take some real scrubbing to get this off. So before I do that and make you guys watch the whole thing, just know that we're closing the chapter now on the Cody Bellinger sweepstakes, at least outside of the Yankees where he will sign. Thank you guys for listening. It could have been a documentary. It could have been a movie. It could be a whole host of entertainment and content, whatever it is. But thanks for sticking in there on the Cody Bellinger sweepstakes. And I will be back soon with some more free agency talk. Welcome to the YouTube Sports Network. Like, share, comment, but most importantly, please just watch it. I'm out.